Good morning, and thank you all for coming here to Cabinet this morning. Last December, I announced the government's intention to establish a commission of inquiry to investigate the findings of the Auditor General's report on the Consolidated Fund for the financial years 2010, 2011, and 2012. At that time, I stressed government's grave concern with the report's findings, a concern that has echoed throughout the community. The report describes serious problems of accountability and control in the administration of the public purse. The most serious areas of concern was government's failure to obey its own financial instructions, which exist to impose financial controls consistent with international best practice and uphold principles of accountability, value for money, fairness, and transparency. Because of these and other findings, I deemed it necessary as Premier to enact a commission of inquiry. The commission is being formed under the authority of the recently amended Commission of Inquiry Act 1935, and after several weeks of careful planning and deliberation to make sure all elements were in place, I am pleased this morning to introduce members of the commission. They are Commission Chairman on my far right, Sir Anthony Evans; lawyer, the Honorable John Barrett, JP; businessman, Mr. Kumi Bradshaw; and unable to join us today because she is off the island, businesswoman, Miss Fiona Luck. The Commission will start its work on April 1st, and before then, the Commissioners have sworn in their oath under the Act. I'd now like to take just a few minutes to talk about each of these individuals and their qualifications and their experience for this important and challenging inquiry. Sir Anthony Evans is a former Chief Justice of the Dubai International Financial Center Courts. He has extensive experience as an arbitrator with particular emphasis on international commercial arbitration. Before being appointed as a judge, Sir Anthony practiced as a barrister specializing in commercial cases. He became a Queen's Counsel in 1971 and a recorder of the Crown Court in 1972. From 1984 until 1992, Sir Anthony was a High Court judge in England and Wales, where he regularly sat in the commercial court. Sir Anthony was Lord Justice of Appeal in London from 1992 until his retirement in 2000. Sir Anthony is quite familiar with Bermuda, having served from 2003 to 2014 as a member of our Court of Appeal. Currently, he is chairman of the Dubai World Tribunal. The Honorable John Barrett, JP, is certainly no stranger to each and every one of you. He has an incredibly distinguished career as a litigator and as a parliamentarian. He joined Mello Jones and Martin Limited in 2004 as a consultant attorney, following his retirement as a partner from the law firm Appleby, Sperling and Kemp. Over the course of his legal career, Mr. Barrett has specialized in criminal, civil, and commercial litigation. He has appeared before the courts of Bermuda at every level and at various periods of time served as an acting magistrate. Mr. Barrett is also a former member of the Bermuda legislature, having served as an elected member of Parliament in the House of Assembly from 1993 to 2011. Mr. Barrett is widely recognized as a keen proponent of political and parliamentary reform and continues to be an advocate on the need for reform and good governance. Mr. Kumi Bradshaw is a certified business appraiser and business valuator accredited for litigation. He holds a bachelor's degree from Dalhousie University and an MBA from Babson College. Mr. Bradshaw is the president of Firm Advisory Limited, a company that provides its clients with advice on making better business value decisions. Prior to his role with Firm Advisory Limited, Mr. Bradshaw operated an independent business appraisal practice from 2007 to 2011. His experience includes assisting clients across a breadth of industries with advice on business purchase sale transactions, shareholder disputes, litigation, economic damages, and estate planning. And rounding out the commission is Miss Fiona Luck, who is off the island. Ms. Luck served as an executive vice president and chief of staff at the XL Group PLC from June of 2006 until June of 2009. and then as a special advisor to the Chief Executive Officer until January of 2010. From 1999 to 2006, Ms. Luck served in various roles at Excel, including as the Executive Vice President of Group Operations and Interim Chief Financial Officer. Ms. Luck is currently a member of the Board of Directors of Gen Life Limited and Gen 2 Limited, and a member of the Board of the Bermuda Monetary Authority, where she serves on its Audit and Risk Management Committee, its Human Capital Committee, and its Non-Executive Directors Committee. Ms. Luck previously served on the Board of Directors of Catlin Group Limited from August 2012 until its merger with Excel in May of 2015, where she was the chair of the Compensation Committee and a member of the Audit, Investment, and Nomination Committee. Ms. Luck is also a member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Scotland. This is indeed a high-caliber commission with extensive legal, financial, and governance experience. The commission will operate under the following terms of reference: identify breaches of financial instructions and how they arose, consider the adequacy of safeguards and the system of accountability, make recommendations to prevent recurrences and to mitigate financial, operational, and reputational risk, refer any evidence of possible criminal activity which the Commission may identify to the Director of Public Prosecutions or the police, and to draw to the attention of the Minister of Finance and the Attorney General any scope which the Commission may identify to secure recompense under the Public Treasury Act, including financial instructions and civil asset recovery. The government has great confidence in the Commission's ability to fulfill its mandate as outlined in these terms of reference, and we have taken great care to ensure its independence throughout the process. The next steps for the Commission will be to assemble its own council, which will be appointed by the Chairman. The Commission will have the power to summon witnesses, examine them under oath, and call for the production of documents. Before closing, it is important to stress that if we are to continue to uphold and protect standards of governance that serve the public interest, then we need to address issues that challenge those standards as they arise. This is the rationale behind the formation of this Commission of Inquiry. And in closing, I want to take this public opportunity to thank all of these individuals for agreeing to serve on this matter of national importance. With those prepared comments, I am happy to take questions.
Have you set an agenda or a deadline on this one?
The terms of reference, which will be circulated shortly after this press conference, give a bit of an outline in that. We are very keen to make sure this moves forward in the most efficient fashion. It's hard to set a timeline around it, but we'll leave that to the Chairman and the Commissioners to do what they believe is appropriate.
Ms. Evans? Is it your experience that commissions of inquiry of this sort set their own procedures?
I think certainly that's the basis on which the Commission would operate, but there are obvious restrictions in the sense that witnesses must be given their full rights of privilege. The normal rules of searching for documents will apply. By normal, I mean those applied by the High Court. And I would hope you'd take it for granted that each member of the Commission will be conscious of the need to provide a fair hearing and a fair consideration of all the issues involved.
The Premier, in setting up this commission, has given certain what I would consider procedural requirements. Somebody who is always concerned about transparency, basically, are you at all concerned with this commission's procedure to be held in camera?
No, I'm not concerned. I was once concerned, as you know, and as you've alluded to. But I'm satisfied that both under the terms of the legislation, that is the 1935 Act, and the terms of reference, which you'll see, that, and as Sir Anthony has just mentioned, that we will have the power to regulate our own proceedings. and they will, and some of them will be in public. Can't say all, because there may be some occasions where people have requested or may be necessary to have them in private, but I think the starting point is public.
So this is the Premier's instructions after the time.
Well, I'm not sure what you mean by his instructions.
Well, he announced, so I need to clarify that.
You mean some time ago?
Yes, he announced it will be held in Canberra.
Well, I'll let the Premier speak to that, but I stand by what I just said.
Thank you.
No, just let me tie up the loose end, because I did clarify that shortly after that, and I believe you were off the island and missed that press conference.
Well, I don't normally get invited.
Next question. You're always invited, Ayo. Gary? Anyone else? Brian? Simon? Yes?
How do you view the task ahead for the Commission? It's a huge amount of work, obviously. How do you view what lies ahead for you?
Well, I think my first reaction, having read the Auditor General's report, which is, of course, the starting point for our inquiry, is that it will be essential to do a lot of preliminary work, as much as we can, so that we can identify the issues clearly at an early stage. Then there will be public hearings, I imagine, of at least some of the evidence. The position on that, if I can just take up the point that the Premier made, the Act and the terms of reference will say that the inquiry will take place in public unless a special order is made for particular parts of it to be in private. And speaking for myself, the starting point is that there should be, the proceedings should be in public, but of course one would have to consider very carefully in any case where an application was made for the hearing to be in private, whether there were reasons which made it proper to do that in that respect of that part of the evidence.
There are obviously circumstances when you believe it would be proper to be held in that.
There could be. I can't say more than that now.
Is there going to be any specific matters being looked at, or any matters that will receive special attention from the Commissioner? Is it going to be all encompassing?
The Auditor's General report in Section 3 sets out her concerns, and there are some of them expressed very generally, some of them are more specific, and that is where we start, and we will obviously try to cover all concerns arising out of that report, which is what we've been instructed to do.
Yes, sure.
It goes back to
Two.
first. Yes, yourself first. It goes back to timescale. Briefly, in the initial press conference, you said between 3 and 4 months you expected the report. I think it was around that sort of time you expected the report. Is that something that you still believe in? Is it something that you discern a timescale of 3 to 4 months to realistic?
Let me answer it this way, that like every member of the Commission that is here today and the Chairman, I think we're all keen to move it forward at the most efficient and appropriate pace, but I don't think we need to get in the way of allowing them to do their job in the best fashion they can. So while I would like it to conclude as soon as possible, I understand that there may be bumps along the road which will take just a little bit longer to accommodate, and so they'll operate in the best time frame, and the sooner the better, but a bull in a hurry never made a calf, and
Except by accident.
except by accident. And so our former colleague Jim Woolwich always told us that, and I try to live by that.
One other question. The opposition supported the setting up of the Commission when it was first announced. Was there in consultation with them on selecting the members?
Gary, you are correct. The opposition did support the Commission when it was announced. I also, before the announcement, not only in reaching out to the opposition, I reached out to the PPSU, had a conversation with them about it. They were very supportive. I asked all of those organizations and people that I reached out to put in names for consideration. And part of the process that allowed us to get to this was a consideration of a number of names. And I'm delighted to be able to have such a caliber of people put forward and to have good people step forward to serve.
Did the opposition or any of these entities that you mentioned agree with the members that were selected?
I haven't notified anyone outside of my direct colleagues on the formation and the names of the commission, but now it's all public. But I did take any feedback that people might have. I'm sure there'll be some comment back and forth on both fronts, but the experience and the reputation of these three gentlemen and Miss Luck, who's overseas, speaks for itself. They will do a good job. Thank you, members of the media.
What's been budgeted for this exercise?
The budget for this exercise is in the budget statement, which will be, is in the budget brief for the Cabinet Office, which will be debated next week. And so that all will be out in the full light of the House of Assembly debate next week.
Final question.
That's what you said before. Carry on.
I have two questions. My second question is when you, parliamentarians, debated the ALP's proposal for a commission inquiry into the land issues, one of the arguments was that undertaking is not important, given that a commission inquiry of this kind is kind of an open-ended process in terms of time it takes to get it done. What's the difference? What justifies a particular spend this kind of time?
Let me answer that in two parts. The first part is I'm not going to reflect back on a debate that took place in the House some months ago, because it's public record and you can review it on the handset. Thank you. The second part is that of moving through this process, we have taken particular care to make sure that we appointed people with the qualifications and the experience that required in light, and we've taken consideration in light of the fact that the government has serious financial challenges that we've addressed, and I believe we've balanced that in a good position to move forward.